want to coach into his 70s.
Well, the coach might be having a change of heart after winning his 300th career game. During a radio interview yesterday, Belichick said now that he is getting closer to 70, he's not sure if that was an accurate statement anymore. Meanwhile, Tom Brady last night said that all these speculations about his future were simply talking points from the media. Brady said he is focused on this season and not the future. So, Shannon, what do you read into this?
Well, I'm reading that Coach Belichick plans on being around New England a lot longer than Tom Brady. I find it very odd, Skip. You know the guy that says we're on to Cincinnati, a guy that does not look down the road. Basically, he has tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And the most important thing to him is the game that's coming up on his schedule next. And for him to project down the road, it's very unlike Coach Belichick. I don't know if and he's quick to say that. When they was asking him over the last several years, they've asked him about Tom Brady, said, I'm not worried about down there. I'm worried about this year. I'm worried about the next game. And so for Coach Belichick to put it as, to project himself like he can see himself coaching beyond the age of 70, it's telling to me for one reason, Skip. He seems to be that he's re-energized and his defense is playing. You see, while you and others in Pro Football Focus is saying Tom Brady's playing lights out, Coach Belichick's like, I don't believe that. He's like, my defense is playing lights out.
And so he wants Tom Brady gone.
I will let you have your turn. Can I have the floor?
Well, we were going there, and I wanted to make sure you arrived at your destination.
I will let you get. I'm driving.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I call Uber. I'm letting Uber drive. You didn't want to call Uber. You don't even have it on your app. You don't have Uber on your app.
You can afford a car
No
service.
way you're
Just call a
taking
car
Uber
service.
either.
Oh, I don't have Uber app on my phone.
Yeah,
either.
no
But
way.
anyway, Skip Bayless. So what this tells me is that he's re-energized. He's looking at his defense like, man, we're playing unbelievable. And this is not an old defense. Not saying it's going to be historically this great next year or the year after, but I don't see any situation where they're going to all of a sudden giving up the number of points that they're giving up this year and all of a sudden triple that in years to come. So Coach Belichick is feeling really good about himself. I think he feels that, Skip, that if he were to make this move, considering the way his defense is playing, that he says, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to get some blowback, but the simple fact, this is Tom Brady now. Let's not lose sight of that.
Okay.
And unless he just dives off the cliff, there's going to be some people that's going to question this decision. But I think there'll be fewer people that'll question the decision given what he's done. Given Coach, and when you have a great body of work, when your resume is impeccable, people might give you the benefit of the doubt whether you say or you do something or you have a slip-up, Skip. And I believe that's what Coach Belichick is banking on. I got my 300th win. I'm a 6-time Super Bowl champ, and in most regards, people regard me as the greatest coach in NFL history. You will make a case that he might be the greatest coach regardless of sport.
Yep.
But withstanding, Skip,
Yep.
I just feel that Coach Belichick basically just laid it down and says, look, guys, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be here. I'm going to outlast Tom Brady, and I'm going to win, or I'm going to do my damnedest to win a Super Bowl without him and close the book. Sometimes, Jen, they say in a relationship, you have to make a very tough decision. Do you turn the page or do you close the book? Coach Belichick said, I'm flipping the pages.
Wise
Tom Brady,
words.
I'm finna close the book on your ass.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Wise words.
You like that?
You got a lot of relationship advice going on.
They call me. They call me Dr. Shan. I'm coming for you, Dr. Ruth.
Is that your side
Dr.
gig?
Laura, Dr. Phil. They need to give me old Dr. Shay.
Well,
I would watch.
I don't know if I can compete with all that.
You got anything over there about
I got a lot
things,
over here. I'm starting to enjoy Mondays more and more because we got dueling radio gigs between Brady and Belichick.
Oh,
he
yes.
says this, but he says, I can top that with this.
Yeah.
So true.
We've got dueling longevity now between the coach and the quarterback.
You see that
and
too,
I
huh?
am waiting for the quarterback to drop a new hint maybe next Monday on Westwood One, Jim Gray. I'm feeling really good. I'm thinking about 50. Maybe I can make it at 50, right? And then Belichick will say on his EEI gig.
He coaching the 80.
Yeah,
Wait a minute.
I'm thinking, 80 is the new 50,
Yeah.
right? Aren't we headed there? Do you
Yes.
feel like it?
Yes.
Okay. It is very clear to all of us
Yeah.
that Bill Belichick has become obsessed with winning a championship without Tom Brady.
Absolutely.
Or at least trying to.
Right.
He wants to prove I can do this without that guy because I want 100% of the credit instead of whatever you guys are debating about every day. Right? I say 75 to Brady, you say 75 to Belichick. He wants 100%. He wants to cement his legacy as the greatest coach ever because now there's a big old asterisk at the bottom of it. Tom Brady was his quarterback.
Right.
Okay. So you're like, I
Yes.
don't know about that one. That's a tough call.
Right.
So now he has, I'm going to use your term, he's starting to smell himself a little bit because he's got a defense people are starting to say could be historically great.
Yes.
Maybe it is historically great so far.
Yes.
Has it really played anybody? We think not. Not yet.
Right.
It has potential to be really good. I don't know if it's 85 Bears good because it doesn't come across that way to me.
Right.
But it's starting to puff out Belichick's chest because it's clear he has taken over as the quasi, maybe the unofficial defensive coordinator.
And didn't it look like his son was calling the defensive signals? Because his son had the chart, and it sure seemed like he's standing next to Gerard Mayo, who's the linebacker.
When it came time to call signals, he put his chart up and called something to somebody. He said something.
Yes.
And that is Steve, who's 32 years of age. And his title is he's secondary in charge of the safeties, only the safeties.
Right.
So could he be the unofficial defensive coordinator? I don't know. Gerard Mayo kind of has the tag of it, but not the title, right? So is it possible Belichick's learned ventriloquism? Because maybe he can call plays without moving his lips. I don't know.
You may be right.
It could be that good.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, and for him to call plays, Skip, without a chart.
Chart.
We don't normally see that. Now, the only guy I've ever seen call plays without a chart was Paul Johnson, Georgia Tech coach. He had no plays. He just put his hand, called a play, and send the guy in with it.
Okay, but that's offense.
That's offense. Okay. But for defensive guys, I mean, obviously, Coach Belichick knows this backwards and forward, but still, maybe they give you a personnel on a down that you didn't expect. So you might need to go dime. You might need to go nickel. You might want to go base. You might want to flip out of a 3-4 to a 43. So for him to just blind willy-nilly, so that's what makes me think, Skip.
Then I saw a quote on Sunday from Belichick, I'm not sure where it came from, in which he indicated, sometimes I just leave it up to the guys in the huddle. You know, Patrick Chung's supposed to be the play caller of the defense.
Correct.
Let them choose among options. They know what their options are. Let them go with their gut feeling on it, and that they'll usually be right on their gut feeling. I find that hard.
Hey, I find that. I got to, Skip. I got to have that kind of control. A control freak like that. So you know what? I ain't worried about it. I'm just going to sit back and let everything y'all call it with it. Come on now. Okay,
so remember, what's the evolution? We went from Belichick allowing 41 points in the Super Bowl to the backup quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles and losing 41-33.
Right.
To last year, especially the first half of the year, really into the first 2/3 of the year.
Right.
There's some defensive disasters. Remember? Jacksonville, Tennessee, then the Miami miracle.
And even though they won the game, they still gave up 40 to my homeboy.
They did.
At home.
No, that's true. And there's no shame in that. But still, it was not a juggernaut last year until the Super Bowl. That's when they finally arrived. Was that
the first divisional? The divisional against the Chargers.
Pretty good.
Because Chargers got down, scored, and then all of a sudden they just
came back in the fourth quarter and put up some numbers. But whatever. So off the Super Bowl, they have just sprung through the first half of this year. They have played nobody, but again, it's the perfect Belichick throw your chest out because you don't have any stars. Well, you got Stephon Gilmore. And Jamie Collins has turned back into a star, but you don't have pass rush warriors. Where you say, that guy's first team all-pro. Right.
They don't have an Aaron Donald.
No.
They don't have a Khalil Mack, the Von Millers. They don't have, Skip, and you look at the great defenses. Not the 49ers. You look at Tampa. They don't have a Brooks. They don't have a Sapp. They don't have a Ray Lewis, a Rod Woodson. The 85 Bears that has Singletary and they don't have that.
They don't even have a Michael Bennett because they gave him to Dallas. Thank you very much.
You good about that?
Yep. Oh, I feel real good about that. I think Bill did a little favor to his buddy Jason Garrett, his summertime dinner buddy. I think they are Nantucket friends. So here's the point that he's pushing Tom harder and harder to play longer and longer. And I also believe that Tom Brady is becoming more and more obsessed with proving his coach wronger and wronger instead of longer and longer. Like he's trying to show, you think I'm done. You want me elsewhere, but I'm going to keep showing you so that Daddy upstairs will keep siding with me.
Because ultimately, that's his decision.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Skip, it's going to come down to Mr. Kraft. He's going to be the final. I know Coach Belichick normally has all the control, and from what we heard, that was the only time that Mr. Kraft has overridden Coach Belichick was in a situation like this. And I believe it's going to come down to a situation like this again. It's going to come down to Mr. Kraft is going to say, you know what? I'm siding with Tommy or I'm siding with Coach Belichick.
Yep. And so far.